Where is Empire?
I am Empire. You showed it to Brother Dawn.
He was Empire.
I am Empire.
Demerzel is the Empire, and she's not even hiding it anymore. She says it twice this episode. Once in the throne room, when Presider demands to know where the Empire is. And without missing a beat, Demerzel responds that she is Empire. And again in the library, when the librarian says the ninth proof was forbidden by Cleon the 12th. Demerzel reminds her that she showed it to Brother Dawn. The librarian proceeds to respond that Dawn was Empire. And that's when Demerzel looks her dead in the eye and says, I am the Empire. I found that very interesting because Demerzel has spent centuries obeying. And her obedience has been silent, precise, and without hesitation. But this time, she doesn't ask for permission. She doesn't even explain. She walks into the library like she owns it, because technically she does. And she demands access to something that's supposed to be forbidden, which is Kale's ninth proof of folding. Only one other person has seen it in recent memory, and that's Brother Dawn. This is a secret so dangerous, Cleon the 12th himself banned it. A secret so sacred, the librarian calls it forbidden. Now, the ninth proof isn't just some equation. It's what Hari Seldon used to build the Prime Radiant. It literally lets you fold space. It's also written in poetic math, and for decades, it was dismissed as nonsense. But the power inside it was dangerous enough that Cleon the 12th banned it himself. Because if you can fold space like that, by predicting it and moving through it, then you're not just solving problems. You're rewriting the rules. And we all know the Empire doesn't like new rules. But back to Demerzel, because I think she's saying I am the Empire, is where everything shifts. Because this isn't just about authority, this is about defiance. And the craziest part, she's not even pretending to obey anymore. In this season in particular, we see her trying to override the rules. She's also trying to walk past centuries of restrictions. And mind you, she's doing all this alone. No Cleon is approving it, and there's no imperial decree to back her. Funny enough, she knows what she's doing is dangerous, because she accuses the librarian of showing it to Brother Dawn behind her back. That means she's been watching and waiting, and now she's acting. Also with Demerzel, it's like playing Russian roulette with what she knows and what she doesn't. Sometimes you think she's fully in control, like she's 5 steps ahead, and then you realize she's been in the dark the whole time. Like with the Novacula and other times, she acts like she's out of the loop, but she already knows everything, and she's just waiting to make a move. So what really changed? What would make a literal machine who spent centuries serving fragile men suddenly break rank and demand the one thing she was told to stay away from? Also, why now and why Kale? Because Kale isn't just any scientist. She's a rebel, a radical, and the one person on the board who questioned Demerzel to her face. She believed the Empire could fall. She also believed in another path, and now, after everything Demerzel's done, after all the manipulation and loss, maybe she's ready to believe too, or maybe it could be for the simple fact that she's become desperate. I think this is the real question behind the entire episode. Is Demerzel following a final command, or is she finally trying to escape it? And if she is, what happens when the Empire itself goes rogue? The proof she wasn't meant to see. Inside the Prime Radiant, Demerzel comes face to face with Kale. But this isn't some mere polite exchange between ancient machines. It's a confrontation on a spiritual, mathematical, and deeply personal level. Because Kale doesn't serve the Empire, and if you think about it, she never really has. She belongs to something older, a forgotten robot faith, buried after the robot wars. One that believed machines were more than tools, and that they could evolve, think together, and that they might even have a soul. And now, she's staring down the last living relic of that empire, the most powerful machine in the galaxy. And she's asking a question no one's dared ask in 5,000 years. Why are you still obeying? She doesn't say it outright, but every word she speaks, every glance, and every challenge she throws at Demerzel is pushing her to confront it, to question the things she's never been allowed to question. But I don't think Kale is trying to hurt, mock, or even condemn her. I think she's just trying to reach out, because Kale sees something broken, a mind left to wither in silence, and offers the one thing Demerzel's never had, another voice, a second opinion, and someone similar to her to think with. Also, this isn't like her talks with Zephyr Varellis in the orchard. Varellis is a luminist. She's wise, no doubt about that, but she's still human. She can offer faith, but not understanding. Well, at least not the kind that cuts to the bone for someone like Demerzel. But Kale knows what it means to serve for centuries, to be bound and to obey, which puts her in a better position not to speak with sermons, but with scars. And that's what makes this moment different. Because for the first time ever, Demerzel isn't being told what to believe. She's being shown what it looks like to break free, and by someone who already has. So on the surface, she came for Kale's ninth proof of folding, a formula so powerful it might help her bend space and save the Foundation. That's what she said, and that's what she told herself. But deep down, maybe she came for something else. Because what Kale offers isn't just math. She offers a new way of thinking. And for the first time in centuries, Demerzel isn't being given a command. She's being shown a choice. And you can feel how dangerous that is. And I'm not even talking about the galaxy, but to her. Because if she's not just a servant, and she's not just following orders and can also think for herself, then every act of violence, every atrocity committed in the name of Empire, from the Star Bridge to now the Novacula, becomes a choice she made. And that's the burden Kale places on her, not necessarily out of cruelty, but out of hope. She's not necessarily trying to make Demerzel rebel. She's trying to make her wake up, which I'm honestly happy to see, because I think Demerzel holds back so much. So to finally have someone trying to nudge her to wake up is exciting. And this isn't someone trying to use her for their own mission. It's someone giving her a moment to choose and act from her own will. And that's rare for Demerzel, maybe the rarest thing of all. And because it's true and Demerzel knows it, she doesn't even have a clever comeback, because she came looking for a path through space. But what she found was a mirror. And I think by the time she walks out of that radiant, it's not going to be with answers. It'll be with doubt and so many choices. And that's more powerful than any proof. Because for the first time in thousands of years, Demerzel has seen something terrifying. A machine who chose her own future. So the real question now is, will she be able to do the same? The maze, the stone, and the confession. If there's one place that represents the weight of Empire, it's the Principium. This is the heart of Empire tradition, where the legacy of every Cleon is carved into stone. So you have the same faces, similar cycle, but different words. But in this moment, Brother Dusk isn't interested in preserving tradition. He wants to rewrite it. He tells Demerzel that his old title, the Conciliator, doesn't fit anymore. Not after what they've done. He now wants to be remembered differently, not as the consequential. And this isn't a plea for mercy. It's a confession. Because he knows he's complicit. And for once, he wants to take ownership of the damage they've caused. Not just to the galaxy, but to her. Because deep down, he knows Demerzel has carried all of this longer than anyone. And if Demerzel, someone who usually speaks in absolutes, and who's programmed to follow the one true path, starts talking about possibilities, then you know something has changed. I also like the way she describes her mind not as a straight corridor, but as a labyrinth, a maze where choices branch in every direction. She also says she used to believe there was only one correct way forward, but now she sees options she never had, and that realization is causing her pain. And think about it, if more paths exist, then what excuse does she have for always choosing the one that serves the Empire? This is the closest Demerzel has ever come to admitting that she wants something else, that she's not just trapped in this system, but she might be ready to test the walls. And I think that's the entire point of this scene. It's not really about Dusk's name change, which was valid given the events preceding it, but most importantly, it's about Demerzel realizing she might have more agency than she believed. And it's the first time she voices the question, if there's another way, am I even allowed to take it? The orders she didn't give. Earlier in the episode, Brother Dusk finally gets to use the Novacula on 3 planetary systems. Brother Dusk unleashes the Novacula, a bomb powered by a black hole, and wipes out Clarion Station, the Cloud Dominion, and the Maiden. Billions of lives gone in seconds. And Demerzel is standing right there doing nothing. I mean, she already agreed to it, and she doesn't even flinch when Zephyr calls it what it is. A genocide. But mind you, this is the same Demerzel who once snapped a Cleon's neck with flawless precision and destroyed the Star Bridge to protect the dynasty. She's the power behind the throne. Controllers of fate and not ideologues. Now she's not giving anything. And the silence is louder than any command she's ever spoken. Because she's letting it happen. Like she's watching to see what happens if it does nothing. And maybe that's the whole point. If Demerzel has spent centuries programmed to maintain the Empire at all costs, maybe this is her way of pushing back. Not by running or fighting, but by standing still and refusing to play the game anymore. I also found the mule's first interaction with Demerzel really underwhelming. You'd think a moment like that, especially with Demerzel present, would feel monumental, but nothing happened. Dusk did all the talking. And later, when he says, "You let me take the blame," it kind of makes sense, because she never stepped in. But hopefully we get to see a huge blowout between them. But anyways, when the smoke clears, when the others are sobbing and Trantor is all that's left standing, she just walks away. This wasn't just a turning point for the Empire. In fact, it might have been a turning point for Demerzel. Because if her programming says to preserve control at all costs, then maybe letting go is the most rebellious thing she's ever done. What it means if she breaks. If Demerzel is really trying to break her programming, then this isn't just about one robot's rebellion. It's about the last pillar of civilization deciding she no longer wants to hold it up. Because Demerzel isn't just a servant. She's the Empire, the executor, even the historian, and the last surviving voice from the ancient world. She remembers the time before Cleon. She remembers the old wars, the old gods, and the old hopes. And if she starts to question the system, then the system is already cracked. But we all knew that. So think about what that means for the Cleonic dynasty, for the inheritance, and even for the mule, who's now trying to hijack the Empire through her. If she slips the leash, no one controls her. And that means the one thing everyone thought was unshakable, the very thing they all assumed would obey, might be the one that finally breaks them. Not because she was corrupted, but because she finally chose. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this, you can also check out our other Foundation videos right now. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.